Hey, friends. Welcome to Limitless Business Online. I'm Tracy, and I'm so glad to be with you here today. I'm going to do my tech check, as I always do, to make sure I'm live in all the places that I need to be. Hello, Instagram. Let's see. All right, great. I see that I am live on Facebook, and I'm going to put a comment in Facebook because if you are joining me live, you do have to, um, in order for me to know that you're here, Facebook is being a little wonky. So, in order for me to know that you're here and to see your comments, you have to give approval. So, let's see. There we go. Okay, so I've put that comment in. If you're here live and would like me to see your comments or to know that you're here, just go to that link that's in the comment of the Facebook Live, and that way I can see that you're here and see your comments. Let's see, I think everything else we're good to go. So, hello, welcome to Limitless Business Online. I'm Tracy, and I'm so glad to be with you today. Glad that you're here, either watching live, watching the replay, or listening to the podcast. Let's see, double checking. Okay, great. I see that we have a couple of viewers live, so I would love to know that you're here. You're welcome to drop in a comment, and I'll be able to see that. No matter how you're joining, welcome and hello. So, today I want to talk about flexibility as an online business owner and what flexibility really means. That just because you have flexibility, it doesn't mean that you don't work, which is what I think some people outside of the circle of online business actually think. This is something that you have to teach the people in your circles of life, that flexibility doesn't mean you don't work. You just work in a different way, which you probably know this if you're an online business owner already. But if you're an aspiring coach, course creator, service provider, then this is something you're going to have to learn. And it's something that I have to relearn over and over and over. I have to reteach myself all the time this truth. So we'll get to that in just a minute. If you are here live, like I said, or you're listening to the podcast or watching a replay, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Even if you're watching a replay, you can still comment at any time through the live, and I will get that message. So I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments. Once again, I'm Tracy, founder of Limitless Business Online. I'm a business strategist and coach for online course creators, coaches, and service providers. I help entrepreneurs develop strong structure, also known as systems, implement clear strategies, and give them steady support in their business so that they can grow the revenue in their online business with less chaos, overwhelm, and decision fatigue. I've been in the online business space since about 2012, and I absolutely love that online business. It's where your work is truly limitless. You have freedoms and limitless avenues like who you can work with, where you can work, and financial independence. So now it's your turn. If you're here with me live or watching the replay, leave me a comment. Where are you joining from in the world? It's my favorite part of online business is getting to meet people from all over the world. So where are you joining from? And what do you do in the online business space? Or what do you hope to do? If you're watching the replay, type in replay and where you're from. Let's see. Okay. Just checking for the comments. And I know there will be some a little bit later when people are watching the replay as well. All right, back to the topic today. Today on the Pod Vlog blog, I want to talk with you about guarding your time. So I said earlier that this episode was really about flexibility, but truly it's about guarding your time. Flexibility comes about when you guard your time. So one of my favorite things about working online, aside from getting to meet people from all over the world. But one of my favorite things is flexibility. You get to do your work in and around the life that you want instead of trying to squeeze life in around your job. But I've learned something the hard way. Flexibility without commitment is really just a dream. What I mean is, you just never, if you just never get around to the work that has to be done to see the dream come to reality, then that's flexibility without commitment. Flexibility with commitment, but without boundaries, will become chaos and burnout. Meaning, yes, you're committed, no doubt about that. But if you don't set limits on some of your commitments, the commitments for your business or your dream will run you into the ground. You're committed and you'll do whatever you have to do to follow through, and that's what leads to burnout. So I hope all that makes sense. Any questions in the comments about those thoughts? What I said was flexibility without commitment is just a dream. Flexibility with commitment, but without boundaries, will become chaos and burnout. I'd love to hear any questions or comments about that. The trick to avoiding chaos or burnout is having boundaries on all your commitments. Yes, we all have lots of commitments, but we need to have boundaries around them so that we can, do this online work and make our business dreams come true. Somewhere along the way, there's a flexibility myth that developed in online business. Online business got marketed as laptop life, traveling, sipping coffee, working in tiny little pockets of time, and everything just magically growing. I haven't found that to be true. Here's the truth. Building an online business is still work, meaningful work, focused work, and sometimes truly hard work. Flexibility doesn't mean you don't work. Flexibility means you get to build your business around the life you want. You get to choose when you work. It's one of the main reasons I work online and that I have for the last 16 years. And it's one of the reasons so many of us are drawn to online business. We want a different kind of life, right? A life that allows us freedoms and limitless growth. We want flexibility. We want to be present with our families. We want to build something meaningful alongside our life. It's not an either or option. And that's really beautiful, but it can also be really challenging because online business isn't just laptop life. It's truly focused work done sometimes in small pockets of time. This is how I worked for the last 14 years as I was raising my kids and doing online work. Here's the danger. If you don't guard those pockets of time, they will slowly get swallowed up by life, kids, errands, doorbells, snow days, and other people's priorities. Have you ever lost a whole workday in this way? Maybe someone came to the door and you went to answer it, and then 2 hours have gone by chatting with a neighbor, or they needed an errand run and they thought, oh, well, he's home. She's home. They work at home. They're home. They could help out. And yes, you do want to be helpful, but you also have to guard your time. If you don't guard your time, that beautiful flexibility gift disappears. So today I want to talk about why you don't need more time. You just need stronger boundaries. Guarding your time is the key to actually finishing what you start. There have been days for me when I thought I planned 2 solid hours to work on my business, and suddenly, like I said, someone knocks on the door or someone needs help with an errand. I answer one text. I do a quick favor. And then all of a sudden, my work time is gone. Not because I didn't care or I wasn't committed to my business, not because I was lazy, and it's because I didn't guard the time for it. I was committed to it, but I didn't have the boundary in place. So I was committed to it, but I didn't have that boundary in place. Sometimes, I like to think of it this way. Sometimes you have to be like a dog on a bone with your business. If you don't protect your time, other people will assume it's available. And let me just say this clearly, just because you work from home does not mean you are always available. I want to say something out loud that actually a lot of women feel but don't always say. Why is it that when someone works from home, especially women, it's assumed we can drop everything and do whatever someone else needs done? If a mom or a dad work in a corporate office, nobody expects them to jump in and jump up and leave their desk to handle everything. But when you work from home, you can become the default if you don't guard your time. You may just have to train the people in your life that your work matters. You have to believe it in your heart that your work matters just as much as anyone else's. It's just as important as if you drove to a corporate company office for you to go into your home office to work or go to your little kitchen desk in your kitchen to work. Your business deserves the same respect as a corporate job. So, what does guarding your time actually look like? It can be simple things like don't answer the door during work hours. There have been many times my doorbell rings, it's usually a salesperson. Um, and I will actually kind of look out the window to see if I see a car that I recognize, see if it's someone I know. And if I can't see anything, I just don't answer the door during my work time. Um, do you know? I don't know if you know this, but context switching, so your brain having to switch from one thing to another or having interruptions can actually take about 20 minutes to get back on track. So if you leave your focused work and go answer the door and come back, you might be losing, 10 to 20 minutes of focused work that your brain has to kind of catch back up. So don't answer the door during work blocks. Maybe you set a timer for your focused work. I do this a lot of times, mostly because I need a boundary on my work and guard my time for rejuvenation and spending time with my family. So setting timers on your work, that really helps. Maybe you tell your family, okay, from 10 to 12, I'm at work. Even if you're at home, you tell them from 10 to 12 or, these 3 hours, I'm at work. And don't don't come in unless someone's bleeding or, something is extreme that they need your help. Maybe you even create a visible sign or a signal like a door closed, headphones on, or a sign on the door. And you let your family know that when I have my headphones on, that means I'm working. So don't bother me unless, like, you pretend like I'm not here unless it's something really urgent. I had to do this when my kids were younger. I would put a sign on the door that said, I'm at work. And at one point, I had a curtain across a office area. And so I would pull that curtain. And I told them, when this curtain is closed, that means I'm at work. Another way to guard your time is to work in short, intentional pockets of time. I used to, when my kids were younger, I used to work in the car during their extracurricular activities. I saw this as a pocket of time that allowed me to be both mom and business owner. So working in those little pockets of time you can find, even as a parent. This isn't being mean. This is being responsible and committed to the business and goals you said you wanted. Here's where this connects to something bigger. You can't complete a meaningful project or goal if your days are constantly being interrupted. Big goals are finished in small pockets, small protected pockets of time. I think of them like bricks. A big goal is built one brick at a time. which means guarding your time isn't just about boundaries, it's about momentum. It's about saying, this block of time is for my business, for the one thing that actually moves my business forward. So, using that flexibility, guarding your time, and building those blocks to move your business forward. If this is all relating, if you're, this is all landing and you're relating to all of this, I'd love for you to type in the comment focus if that's something that you need, or even boundary if that's something you need. If you're watching a replay or even now, you can drop that in the comments. Yeah, if this hits home, let me know. Also, the way you treat your business teaches others how to treat it. So this is kind of a reframing. This is how you can help your family or those in your circle of life to understand that flexibility doesn't mean you don't work, and to set a boundary is treating your business, like a corporate job, and others will see that the way you treat it is how they need to treat it as well. If you treat it like a hobby, the world will too. If you treat it like a job, people will respect it. And more importantly, you will respect it more as well. Your belief in yourself and in your business will grow. The more seriously you treat your business, the more seriously it will grow. What about that? The more seriously you treat your business, the more seriously it will grow. So guard your time like it's the engine of your future, because it is. Time is the engine of your future. I love that. Guarding your time is a key piece of the puzzle to reach your 90-day goals. And I really wanted to share this pod vlog blog because I am leading a workshop. The next one coming up is February 26th at the time of this recording, but this workshop will be ongoing. But it's coming up February 26th, and it's called From Scattered to Strategic: How to Pick the One Best Goal for the Next 90 Days to Make 2026 Success Inevitable. I would love to have you there if you're in need of guarding your time, and or even figuring out what is that one best goal to really move my business forward toward my 2026 goals. In this workshop, we'll be talking about choosing that one best goal for the next 90 days so that you're on target to reach your annual goal for your business. You'll walk away with what your one focus should be, and a way to structure your time so your life doesn't swallow your business. If you've been feeling scattered, if your days feel full but your projects stay unfinished, you might need to guard your time more fiercely and come to the workshop because it's for you. As I said at the beginning of this episode, guarding your time is one of the keys to actually finishing what you start. If you're ready to go from scattered to strategic, I'd love to see you in the workshop. You can register at limitlessbusinessonline.com/get focused workshop. That's limitlessbusinessonline.com/get focused workshop. I would love to see you there, and I hope this episode has been helpful to understand flexibility and boundaries, guarding your time in order to make your dreams come true. I'll see you next time on Limitless Business Online Pod Vlog Blog.